All right, all right. Welcome to this year's DMV Networking Event Part 2. Here with your host, Arthur Wills from Tac Talk Tuesday. And I have a very distinguished panel today. I hope you guys are ready. I'm going to start right here to my right. Mr. Moon, please introduce yourself and let the viewers know what you got going on.
Moon. And I like doing man. I got situations with Moon. Right there. Got a podcast going on, one of the top podcasts on the East Coast. Got clothing line up, situation with Moon. We got movies coming out, documentary coming out, children's book coming out. Everything is finished. Everything is done. We in the editing phase of this, the illustration phase of it. So, and I'm dealing with life enhancement services with mental health in the communities. And so deal with the kids as well as the adults for mental health. And one of my things dealing with mental health is like America just like they give everybody drugs. Like you can just go and say anything, you're gonna get drugs. Like they just give it to you. So I try to, think of other ways to deal with the mental trauma as opposed to being high on drugs all day, right? That's what I got.
Understand. Nah, thank you. We'll get more into your story. All right, next we're going to dive over to my left. We have Miss Therese Alexander. Can you please let us know what you have going on? Introduce yourself, please.
Yep, I'm Therese Alexander. I am the owner of Fierce Financial Services and TNT Logistics. I am also a strategy and finance consultant. I also own Candidly Fierce podcast, and I am starting a Passion to Profit Society where I am teaching entrepreneurs on how to turn their passion into profit and exactly what that looks like and ensuring that their passion is their purpose.
Sounds very exciting. I look forward to hearing more about that as well.
Oh, yeah.
Let's move on down to the left. We have Miss Deja Oliver. Tell us about yourself and what you got going on.
Yes. Hey, everyone. My name is Deja. I own the largest Polaris slingshot rental company in Virginia. My company is called RVA Hot Wheels in Richmond, Virginia, and also Virginia Beach Slingshot Rentals in Virginia Beach and Norfolk, Virginia.
Sounds awesome. I will be down there this summer. Trust me.
Yes. Thank here.
Next, we have to the left of Deja is Darius Wilkins. Wilkins. Excuse me, Darius Wilkins. Please introduce yourself and let us know what you got going on.
Sure. My name is Darius Wilkins, CTO of Alice Management Consulting and CEO of Cade Premier Marketing. With Alice, we're in 10 different government agencies where we service DoD and civilian agencies from budget, financial management, acquisition support, and technology innovation. On the AI side, we help businesses get more leads, follow up more leads, leveraging AI, and whole marketing strategy to help businesses actually make more money leveraging AI. So it's real powerful. Definitely excited to be here.
Thank you for being here. That sounds like a lot, and I actually want to learn more about that as well. So you guys are already warming me up. So let's get down to the end, Mr. George Wicks. Tell us about yourself and what you got going on, my good brother.
How's everybody doing? I'm George Wicks. I'm the owner of Smoking Geos Automotive Repair. We run a mobile mechanic business out of the DMV. Traveled up to Baltimore, Hagerstown, Tysons, Richmond, and servicing vehicles. Been doing that for about 5 years. I've been in the automotive industry going on 10, 11 years now. So I've been doing this for a little while.
That sounds impressive. Yeah, that's a lot of experience.
It's getting there.
It's getting there. And you don't look that old either. I wonder when you started.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I got it. Okay, guys. So, and then just a little bit about myself for the ones who are new. Again, my name is Arthur Wills. I manage a wealth management firm. I help people just set that foundation for your business to get you off the ground. I hold your hand through the entire process until I don't need to no more. So you need that person for you, that accountability partner. I'm your guy. And with that being said, let's get started with the show. So the first topic I want to talk about with everyone is, how did you first identify your business as a hustle? Or how did you identify your hustle as a business? And we're going to open the floor up. So No one wants to go first? I'll go first. When I first identified my hustle as a business is when I seen a lack of knowledge when it came to finances. We had a situation where I worked a regular W-2 job and I took out taxes all year. And at the end of the year, I reached out to someone to get my taxes done, and they told me I need to file no taxes. But on my W-2, it said I withheld about $1,000. So I'm like, where does all that money go? And Lord me know, I only made about $5,000 that year. So if you know anything about the tax code, I should have been owed some money back. So when I understood there was a lack of knowledge, in the household, I decided to, move forward with that and start teaching others. And from there, we're here today. George, how about yourself?
Honestly, it started just like you said, it was a need in the community, I guess. Working at the dealership, once people find out, they mention, oh, I need such and such, and it would be maybe a weekend or something. I get off work, might do a break job here and there, make a little extra change, and then it started becoming more consistent, and I had to start investing into myself, and then it started to become less of just a hustle, and it was more of like people were needing services done, and I didn't want to always turn them away because I would just do it when I needed a couple extra dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like I can't just be like, nah, I can't do your breaks today, I'm good. Like they would never call me back.
Okay.
So started just always keeping up with our customers, following up, making sure everybody was good, and just kept going from there.
Sounds good. Sounds good. What about you, Moon?
Mine started from kind of like a shame and an embarrassment. So I, growing up, being Black people, I was, coming under Black power. They was like Black people blind, deaf, and dumb, right? And so I, didn't pay no attention. But along the years, I started seeing things like I grew up on Howard University, so I would be all over Howard, right? And I would be all in the building. I was a kid. I just grew up all over Howard. And then I read something, and I was watching a documentary about Harvard. And it was like, you don't leave Harvard looking for jobs. You leave Harvard creating jobs, right? Mm-hmm. And then they said the Jews, that they don't buy the iPhones, they invest in iPhone stock, right? They don't buy Nikes, they invest in the stock, right? I'm looking at my closet, I'm like, right, 50 pair of Nikes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at my clothes, and I'm like, Dior. And I'm like, so I'm feeling like an idiot, but I don't know what to do, right? So I'm like, how do I invest in stock? Like, so I'm trying to figure out, and I said, well, you know what? Well, I just started wearing my own clothes first. I just started making my own clothes, you know what I mean? Then start trying to sell clothes. At least that's a step out of whatever I'm going through, but I'm feeling bad right now. So, and that's how my journey started, in trying to, as opposed, people would say, well, you have a very unique story. You should go on a podcast and tell your story. And I was thinking like, okay, well, why not do a documentary or do a movie? Like, why not go bigger, right? And that's when my motor started to turn, and that's when I started trying to turn things into a business. So that's how I got here.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, Therese, let's hear about how you identify your hustle as a business.
So I have a two-part answer. Okay. Fierce, my financial services company, actually started during COVID.
Okay.
COVID happened, and people, as we all know, started losing money, losing jobs, didn't know what to do. And so I know I come from a very unique background where I have a degree in financial planning and counseling with a minor in investments. So I was always taught on how to make my money work for me instead of me work for my money. So I understood the importance of having IULs and how to invest my money, and so that I'm always having an emergency fund on top of a savings account. And when I realized other people, especially in my family and my community, didn't, then felt like I had to. So I created FIERCE, which actually is an acronym for Faithfully Investing, Educating, Reaching, Changing, and Evolving My Community. So that's what I did there.
Okay. You got that written down, or you remember that?
It's actually, I actually
Created
feel
that.
like
Yeah,
you
exactly.
need to align your life to a purpose.
Okay.
And so fierce is it. Like I feel like I'm fierce and wonderfully made. And if you actually know how much I love educating people and changing lives, I live to faithfully invest, educate, reach, change, and evolve my community. It's who I
Nice.
am to the core.
Nice. Very on brand.
Yeah,
I like
very
that.
on brand.
Yes.
TNT Logistics is actually something that happened because a friend asked me to deliver flowers. Random, help out for Valentine's Day, deliver flowers. I called all my friends to be like, yo, we should deliver flowers because he said we can make some money.
Mhm.
So we did that. And then once we did that, again, how my brain works, I'm a strategy and a scaler. So I was like, hey, what else does this look like? How can I repeat this process? Wait, can I leverage this? Can I scale this? And next thing I know, I am sitting at home bored again during COVID and was like, someone said, no one who works for FedEx, delivers for FedEx actually works for FedEx. And I was like, what?
Hmm.
And they're like, yeah, no one who delivers for FedEx
Hmm.
works for FedEx. And I was like, yes, they do. And he was like, just because you see a uniform and just because you see a truck doesn't mean that that's who they work for.
Mhm.
So I decided to do some research. I wrote a contract and I won without even owning trucks or knowing anything about trucking. Next thing I know, I am the owner of TNT Logistics. I've scaled a trucking business.
Wow.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's
That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. All right. You definitely just stole the floor with that one. Let's tap into Miss Deja. How did you identify your hustle as a business first?
Yeah, so my twin sister and I, we travel a lot. In 2022, we had just graduated university. We went to Miami and we saw the Polaris slingshots out there in Miami. We were like, oh, we want to ride. And then we went to Vegas. We saw the slingshots out there. We're like, okay, we want to ride. So fast forward, same year, we were in Richmond. And I was like, today is a pretty good day. Let's go for a ride. Let's see if they have them out here. So we searched up and down Google. We could not find any Polaris slingshot rental companies within a 90-mile radius.
Really?
And yes, so with us looking that up, trying to find, I was like, what if we were able to create that out here? Like, let's bring that experience here. So we saw an opening for an opportunity and we took it. So
Oh, wow.
that's how we started our company.
Wow, that's tough. That's tough. Identifying a need and then wanting to create that need. I mean, wanting to create that want where you're at. That's good. I like that. Mr. Darius, tell us how you identify your hustle as a business.
Sure. Since I'm in multiple businesses, I'll just talk about one for now.
Yeah, I got you.
But I've always been a technical guy.
Uh-huh.
When back in the day, I was always doing help desk, helping people with their computers, things like that. So I've always been good with computers. So I used to do websites and stuff like that. And I always had a love for technology. And so these days, AI is kind of a buzzword. They're like, okay, AI. Well, people say AI, they use it, but how do you actually use it to make money? How do you actually help it to make your business? So this sort of opportunity where I can help businesses actually use it in a smarter way to help them make more money and put more money in their pockets. You know what I'm saying? So I saw the opportunity, like, you know what, let's do it. Let's start helping businesses actually grow their business, leverage AI, and automate their systems that they have internally. So that's how we started the company.
It's so funny you bring that up because people always talk about AI gonna steal all the jobs. It's gonna be no working class out here because the computer's gonna take over. But I don't agree.
No,
I-
it enhances your jobs. It makes things easier so you can do other things. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta know how to train it, how to leverage it, and where to put it in your business. You know what I'm saying? It can automate certain things where you can free you up to do other things. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff doesn't need a human. It can use AI, and then it can need the human to do something else. You know what I mean? So it's things gonna enhance. Some jobs may go away, but for the most part, it's more gonna enhance, I think, people as far as to do other things and free up the time.
Yeah, productivity is gonna go up extremely.
But can I ask a question?
Good.
So when we talking about AI and designing, they say it can do all of these things really fast.
Mhm.
But then we get to talking about cars, trucking, all of these things, right? Where they're gonna start driving themselves. So all of the CDL license. So like what do we do then? Like how did that make it easier for us if I drive trucks and then the trucks drive themselves? I'm out of job. Like how does it make my job easier?
So owning a trucking company, I will tell you that it doesn't make your job easier, and we wouldn't go 100% to AI. Actually, right now in the industry, over a good, I'm gonna say 60% of our trucks with the updated safety equipment is all AI. So AI actually has a lot to do with your newer trucks and how you actually manage business. All of our safety features, lane assist, we even have the forward collision avoidance mitigation systems that will slow the trucks down to prevent us from hitting cars. So right now, AI is really used for the safety and protecting the other cars around us. With AI, people are scared that we're going to go to iRobot. I think that's
Yeah, exactly. Way down. the
way
line.
down the road. Right now, there are so many other hands-on manual things that an AI, especially in trucking, cannot predict, that you have to be behind the wheel. What it does, I mean, even with my drivers and as automated as my trucks are, I tell them not to get comfortable, right? Because anything can happen. Computers can fail. So because computers can fail, you need to be able to take over and switch out of that manual mode, out of that automatic mode into a manual mode, and take control of the vehicle at any given time. So I would say the same for Tesla, and any other system. You can only get out of it what you put into it. So you have to know exactly how to use it and talk to it and treat it for it to react the way that you need it to.
Yeah, it's here. You just gotta know how to use it. You know what I mean? And it's not going nowhere no time soon. It's only going to get better, but obviously you got to train it. And, robots and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy these days, but it's a lot going on.
No, it is. It is. I know George. He knows a lot about the backgrounds of how things are actually set up. Touch on that a little bit. About the AIs, and because we had a conversation about. So you have like ChatGPT, you have like Gemini, and you have like other sources of AI. What you guys talking about is built into your systems, which I completely understand. But for the average person, just touch on how the background of these different types of AI services may be different.
Yeah, so I agree with both of you guys' points. How you were talking about the lane keep assist and different features in cars. AI has been implemented for years now. What we're starting to get is like generative AI, which means it can come up with its own thing. But like Tesla's products, that's a pretty much an AI system that's monitoring what's going on around the vehicle. Even when it needs to like do a lane shift, it's not just as simple as like no car here, we can get over. It's like seeing how fast is this car ahead going. It's taking in a lot of information and processing it. Same thing that like we do when we driving. Like if you want to take this cut and you see this car going slow and this car going fast, you got to step on the gas and take that cut. It's the same thing. And as far as like the chat platforms and stuff like that, at first they were just browsing the web essentially for you. Like if you were to search chat, it will give you a similar search as Google, but just the direct answer. But now it's starting to be able to think and create. It is going to be a while before it is able to take everyone's jobs and things like that. I think that's way down the line. But what I've noticed that it's given me more space to be creative and to think creatively, because I don't necessarily need to come up with this email or come up with this list of things that I need to do. And the more that you talk to it, like you said, train it, it'll start to remember things and help you maybe predict something that's in your blind spot. In your real life, metaphorically, real life, in the cars, everything, it watches that blind spot for you.
That blind spot dangerous.
It really is, especially because you can't think for yourself all the time. Sometimes you got to work. So when you're using the AI to kind of think for you, it helps a lot.
Yep.
Honestly, I know, when I started using AI, it was just more so like, okay, how do I create a list of items that I want to need for the show? But then it has transitioned into, okay, I want to start, creating more emails that I can get more stuff faster. So if I had 10 clients that I need to reach out to today and it's all the same information, then I'll just customize the email, but I'll do it through AI. There's nothing wrong with it because I'm reading the email before. Don't want to just send people information you get from AI exactly what it says. You want to proofread it, just like when you're in school. Want to proofread everything, make sure it's exactly the message you want to give off. That way it's good transparency to the information you're giving. Yeah. I want to take a shift a little bit. So all of us are bosses. You know, all of us are, you know, distinguished bosses at that. But everyone can't be a boss. Everyone can't make that leap to be a boss. But we were all workers, correct? So we were all workers, and now we're bosses. Talk about how, you know, transition to more of a boss or a CEO than just, you know, your average worker. For me, I look at a worker as someone, okay, I have to clock in, have to do these designated tasks to make sure that the whole organization, the business is running efficiently. When I think of a CEO, I think, okay, what are we doing in 5 years? What is our 5-year goal? How are we going to advance this beyond what we're doing today? And I just want to open the floor up to that.
I mean, you got to have vision as a CEO. You got to look ahead. You also got to be able to be mentored. Find a mentor who are places where a company that's where you want to be. You know, find out how they got there. You know, it's always, even if you're a employee, boss, whatever, you're always learning. And even as a boss, you're still learning. There's any type of business you're doing. It's always about growing and learning and really reaching out to people who have more than you. You may company, your company may make 10 million, but your other company makes 100 million. You want to learn from a company that made 100 million. How did I get that level? You know what I mean? So wherever level you're at, you're always reaching out and learning from bigger companies and bigger people. And that's how, you know, you grow and scale, learn from other companies that's been in your position.
Yeah, that mentorship, that's definitely a big part of it.
You agree with that?
Yeah,
Mentor, you think that helps?
That's something that I've heard across the board, talking to different entrepreneurs, from YouTube podcasts to just people in my community. It seems like the majority of the people who are successful and who have done good business with minimal trips along the way has had some kind of mentor to teach them the ropes and tell them things to look out for. Even when you are a worker, it's best to come in, even if you're like an associate level worker, you're going to find somebody who is a step ahead of you, and you should. It would be best, you know, to like listen to them, especially if you feel like they have a good work ethic, and this is someone that you would be interested in being in a position like them. Picking up that mentorship is definitely it's imperative. And you don't even really realize that. Sometimes you don't realize that you were being mentored until it's over. Like there have been people that I work with, and I just seen the way they work, and I see how they doing things. I like it. I kind of follow in their path, listen to the things that they say. And then once we parted ways, I'm thinking back, like I refer to him like, yeah, that was my mentor.
Right.
I like that.
I would even say, sorry.
Go ahead.
I would even say mindset too adds into that. Like I can remember my early stages, like in middle school, my grandpa, he would come home with like a truck full of like candy and sweets, and me and my sister, we knew that we couldn't eat all of that, so we had unlimited candy, we had unlimited cakes. We would take that same box to school the next day and sell it for $5 a box. And like it's all about mindset. You see an opportunity and you're creating you know, something out of that opportunity. You see an opening, I'm going to take that opening. I think mindset definitely plays a huge part, which separates people who have a business or entrepreneur mindset compared to people who don't.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I agree with you. That mentorship, Gio said that, George said that you won't even realize you're being mentored. That's so true. I worked with a few employers, and no one likes their boss. No one likes the supervisors. When you start realizing why they're nitpicking, why they're always checking in on you, it's because those are procedures that works. They want to make sure you meet these deadlines. You thinking like, oh, they on your behind. No, like it's a deadline that they got to reach that you need to help them with, but you don't know what their deadline is. And reason why I learned from that is because when you're in their position, then you have someone that you need to teach and bring up to your level. It helps you too. So it's all a learning curve. I know in sports they always tell you that the best players are the one that's the best players are the one that's most teachable. So if I'm able to teach you the best, I mean you're gonna be the best player out here. You're gonna perform the best. You're gonna be the best. Period. So allow yourself to be teachable. Allow yourself to learn from others, because you never know how the opportunity can help you move forward.
I think that the 3 points that was brought out is the reason behind failure in our communities, right? And the trenches like hood, right? Where you gonna be in 5 years, mentor, right? And your mindset, right? Now, what I realized what went on in my community was, as a kid, the adults, drug addicts.
Mhm.
The teenagers a little over us, drug addicts, drug dealers, right? So what were we gonna get, right? In order for us to go to better schools, we had to have addresses. People on welfare living right here, we don't got no address. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know what to do. I learned about bullies, where some of them, they couldn't read well, or they couldn't spell, and they was frustrated all the time. They be mad. They reached a point where they just want to hurt somebody, right? And then I didn't understand. Technology came. I didn't. I went to prison, came home. It was a whole new world. So I want to just go off. I want to hurt something. So I understand the bully now, right? But where am I going to be in 5 years? I don't even have a job, right? So where am I going to be in 5 years, right? So you get a job, and it's like, you know what? I just got to start, right? Just the mindset. I just got to go. And so my mindset went to, I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years, but next year it got to be better than this year. And if I do that 5 times, I'll be 5 times better in 5 years than I am now, right? So that's where my mind went. And before you know it, I reached out for clothes, and I went to this person. Then I saw something better, and then people started reaching to me and talking. And then I knew 5 manufacturers. I didn't even know one last year, right? I know 5 different manufacturers. I know 3 different cameramen now. I've been to 20 different locations, you know. And so each year I just sit back and I say, okay, so now, you know, what can I do? Can I get to China, get the fabric? Do I, you know, my mind just try to be better next year. So we do need mentors to show us, like people tell us, right? But that's just like just telling me how to play basketball, giving me a ball and telling me how to play is not the same, right? Yeah. But if you work with me, I might don't learn it this week, but you might got to work with me, right? The mindset. When sometimes you come from no hope, right? So somebody right here has to do it, right? Like it has to be some type of hope, right? So I just think that a mentor is very much needed. I think that knowing where you want to be in 5 years, at least know what you want to do, what you want to get into, right? It may change in 5 years, but at least that'll be 2 different things you into now, right? And just believing in yourself, and just like it's okay to feel like I just need to do better. You know, like it's okay to get sick and tired of struggling, right? Just you apply yourself and you have to go get it. And that's where the mentors come in at. So yeah, I agree.
Man, Moon, I ain't gonna lie. Your humbleness it shakes me, man. I'll be honest with you. Now, for real, you people project so much, but you're so honest about right now. Like we do get lost in the 5-year plan, but what are you doing today that's gonna affect you tomorrow? And that's such a good point. Like I think people should just take a second to just, you know, really consume that, because it's not so much about, you know, next year, because you got plans for next year. I want to go on vacation. I want a new job, but what are you doing today that's going to help you get there? And I like that you touched on that. That was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I want to pick on Therese real quick. So I want to ask you something. When it comes to your old hustle, what are some of those key skills that have identified? I mean, that have been the biggest outliers that have transitioned over to your business now?
Strategy.
Okay. What do you mean?
So I'm actually going to tie the answer into what we were just talking about and shifting your mindset. I agree with what everyone said, but I think the biggest thing that you need to think about in going from a 9-to-5 to a CEO is you need to take away the revenue. You need to take away the excitement. You need to take away the big jump, right? Everyone, especially right now with social media, everyone is talking about, hey, we started this business and we instantly became a millionaire, or we instantly had success. That is not true. I'm going to be real.
Let us know. Let us know.
Right? There are systems. There is a strategy behind it. right? So for me, in having a finance and strategy background, I had to ask myself on if I made nothing today, do I still have the drive? Do I still have the will? Am I still consistent? Am I going to still pour into this the same thing as if on my biggest day when I made whatever, right? I can have a week where I can give you a true story. I had weeks in my trucking business where I consistently made over $25,000 a week. I've had weeks in my trucking business where I have made $1,400 a week. I've had weeks in my trucking business where they've sent me a bill and said, hey, you owe us.
That's where that
Yeah.
strategy
That's
comes
where
in.
that
Keep you
strategy comes
motivated,
in
keep you
at.
going.
You
It's
have
easy
to be motivated. You have to see the
You are.
numbers. You have to understand the mission. You have to understand the why. When the vision becomes bigger than you, then you will be successful. You have to understand that in business, you are like a diamond. Diamonds are made under pressure, that you are being molded, you are being groomed,
Yeah.
right? So because in my strategy, I have a strategy background. I didn't say what that was. For a living, I laid people off. In a 7-year period, I unfortunately laid off 35,000 people. When our administration said, hey, there are companies that are doing business overseas, shut them down. I need all the jobs to come back. Nobody thinks about what that looks like. I had to move overseas for 6 months, meet those people, understand what they did on a daily basis. What happens if those jobs over there and the people over there are more qualified to do the jobs than the people over here? But because someone said it, we have to do it, right? So it showed me a different side of life. Strategy is important because you need to sit down and you need to really think about in every business aspect, what does your day-to-day look like? How can you incorporate AI? How can you incorporate systems? How can you get up and continue to have the right mindset that you need? And which mentors you should talk to. Strategy is your number one thing in business. For me, it's more important than finance. For me and my chat GPT, we have strategy sessions all the time, like to the point where we go back and forth. And my chat GPT is now like, I'm like, yo, I don't like that answer. And she'd be like, you see, I said she, right? She'd be like, yo, that's on me.
Yeah.
Like, and so we go back and forth. I test my chat GPT. It comes back, it tests me, we challenge each other, and then I incorporate that into my daily life and into my business, right? So for me, it pushes me to be a better entrepreneur, a better business owner, to be able to move forward and be the owner in which I want to be, right? So for me, it's strategy. Then from there, it would be finance. And then from there, I would say process management. Because again, systems rule the world. I mean, Deja and I were talking earlier about hats and what, like, we're trying to take off more hats, right?
Oh, tell us about this convo.
The hats in the business.
Yeah.
Wearing all the different hats.
Yeah.
We're
Let's
talking
open that
about
up.
how we wear all of the hats in our business, right? And we're both on this mission to remove some hats. You can't do it without systems. You can't do it without structure.
SOPs.
You can't do it without SOPs, right? But you have to think about that. You have to sit down and you have to come up with your 5-year plan, or as Deja has her 12th month,
12 week,
12 week,
yep, mhm.
sorry, plan, where we have to sit down and we talk about it. You know, we've also talked about the people who influence us, the people who have our ear and how they motivate us to do better and what that looks like, right? So I may not know everything I do about AI, but now I've met George, and George, he has some more information, and I know Darius, so we can all have a conversation.
Yeah.
I can listen to how they can pour into me and how that knowledge can pour into me to pour into my business. Moon, you just said a lot to me about mindset in my community. Everything that I'm thinking, I wasn't thinking about medication. I wasn't thinking about how our community was being treated. To be honest, I wasn't. So it's like, oh, wait, I would love to have a conversation with you just to see what more can I do. If I want to educate my community, you need to educate me so I can go out and educate them. Or how can we partner? It's all about that networking. It's all about how we pour into each other in order to pour out of each other. So strategy is like, to me, this is nothing but a strategy move. We over here playing chess, not checkers.
Facts, man. I heard a lot from you is impact over profit.
Yes.
You know, we have to look at the impact of what we're doing over everything. Because like you said, some days we're not going to make money. Some months we're not going to make money. You know, some years you may have report a loss. So with that being said, your strategy and your impact on what you're doing has to be correct. You can't miss no steps, because don't nobody just skip up no mountain.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got to take every step one at a time and get your way there. And it's the same thing for your business. You got to do one task at a time. You got to talk to one person at a time. You got to send one email at a time. There's no fast way to this. Like you said, millionaires aren't made overnight.
No.
That's good. That's good, man. I think the impact of what everyone does individually is definitely sweet. Like, you guys are awesome. Like, I just want to take a second to say that. You guys are awesome. Not for real, because I look at the impact just today. Man, we have we have 7 vendors out there today, and I lie to you not, I learned something new about them today, and I've already met them previously, and it's because of the impact of what they're doing. They're not just showing up today just to sell a product. They have a vision. They have a team. They have people standing behind them, and I feel that. And same thing with the people on this panel as well. They have the same drive. They have the same engagement with people that they meet every day. And I just want to thank you guys for coming up here. You guys are doing great. For sure. All right, so we're going to keep this thing going. So when we talking about, again, your CEO side, what are those skills that you can identify in yourself that, you know, you can share with others that people can relate to?
I feel like one of the things that I noticed as being like a business owner is it's important to like listen to your clients and also ask questions, you know, before you get eager to jump into whatever your service is that you're offering. And just like you said, with the systems, sometimes people say that they need one thing and they don't. They need something else. But having those systems in place to begin and to just do it, maybe like a pre-screening of what's going on, that has always been helpful and something that I've done as a business owner. And then I work as well. I have a job. I do IT. And I feel like that is something that I transferred over into like the work that I do now. So even if I may be dealing with a person and the problem that they're experiencing, talking to them, asking them the certain questions that might need to be known to get important information out of whatever your situation is. For me, if it's computers, like, hey, when did this happen? Did you do anything? Has the computer gotten wet? You know, anything like that. Or if it's cars, did it just happen overnight? Were you driving? Was it hot? Were you going fast? Were you going uphill? Just different questions like that will get you closer to where you need to go in life, and instead of just going off of what somebody has told you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I do that in work as well.
I agree with you. Those questionnaires, those pre-questionnaires before you even see the person, it goes a long way. Like if I can read everything about you before I talk to you, I promise you the meeting it's gonna go by faster.
Exactly.
I can identify the problem faster, I can solve it faster, and we can go to the next step even quicker.
Yep.
So you're right. Another thing that you said that struck me was you know, like training. Like, you know, when you train someone, you know how important that is.
Yeah.
Like people just think like, oh, I gotta go train, and it's like it's for no reason. No, you going through this training, so I don't have to do this again with you later. You're gonna do this 2-hour training, and now you're gonna be able to perform this task for the rest of the year. It's important that you put in those trainings for your employees. You put those trainings in for your supervisor, your managers, even your store owners. People need to have those certain trainings so they're able to run your business as well as you want it to be. You can't just be in there walking in every day and just try to wear all the hats at once. Like, no, man, let's set up some trainers. Let's get people on board, get the onboarding going so they understand how this system works. I don't want to be there every day. I want to set up a location here, Virginia, down south, West Coast, maybe even overseas, but we can't do that unless we have that structure. You know, they have that strategic plan, and then allow us to, again, set those SOPs for everyone to follow that relates to what our mission and our vision is for our business. So that was good, Gia. Thank you for that. Darius, You're a little quiet, man. Talk to me.
I know, I've been talking.
I just want you to open up a little bit because I don't think everyone understands how important your business is right now.
Mhm.
And so let's dive in a little bit on that if you can.
Sure. What are you want to talk about?
Let's talk about Premier and how you're running business and how you're scaling that to the next level.
Really, it's for me, it's about, like I said, processes and sales, and having a team, fulfillment team to do all the work for you. You know what I'm saying? So, like any business, you can't do it all yourself. And so for me, I can't do all the work myself. So I have a team that helps do the back end work that I cannot do, and really I'm working on trying to get my sales team together so you can scale with the sales, because when you're dealing with B2B business, it's all about numbers or reaching amount of people, systems in place.
You said B2B business?
Yeah, when you're trying to contact other business, we can do B2B as far as like, you're not doing the government, you're doing straight B2B as far as you're not really with
business to business.
Yeah, business to business. Yeah.
Got it.
You're doing B2B. Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you what school system I grew up in, but you can get it now. Okay.
That's
good.
all right. It's really about, like I said, having systems in place, and to scale is really putting the process in place for your team to kind of outsource the work, because you can't do everything yourself. Even in the government contracting business, we have to have people in place. We can't do everything. You have the HR, you have to have all the stuff in place to scale. And so really, I'm focused on having the right team to do all the work that I can't do, and that way it frees up your time. You know what I mean? Because you're in business, you don't want to be a slave to your business, but you want to have or enjoy the rewards of your business, but you don't want to be a slave to your business. You know, you always put in long hours, which is part of entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you're doing this, doing that. You got a lot of stuff to do with calls, customers, things like that. But you still want to enjoy the work, so you have to have the process in place. You have to have the people in place to help you do the work and accomplish where you want to go.
No, you're right, man. Our business is our babies. I ain't playing by mine. I tell you. So when you talk about outsourcing, how does that help your business?
First of all, you have to make sure people you outsourcing to, you trust them. You know,
you said trust.
You trust them. They
trust
understand
is big. Okay.
The culture. It's all about culture. I know in our government contracting business, we built a culture where it's like a family atmosphere. You know what I mean? So, and you have to hold people accountable when it's time to be rough, when people aren't, living up to expectations or jobs aren't getting done. You kind of got to know when to, tighten things up but really you have to trust people. You have to make sure you give them some task at a time, and then you can scale as, they do better. You know what I mean? So you can take on more, but in order to grow, you're going to have to trust people. You have to scale. You can't do it all on your own. You know, what I mean? Especially if you're trying to get to millions and billions of dollars, you got to have a team around you to get there.
I got you. When you talk about that team, what are some good qualities of your team that you would like to have?
Work ethic. Obviously, you want people who are going to work hard. I know one thing that we found.
I'm sorry, work hard. Does that mean being able to multitask? Does that mean be physically strong? Like, what does work ethic mean to you?
Get things done. People who are overachievers, I would say
overachievers.
Yes. So one thing we saw that we did in our government contracting business was we hired people who were called Skill Bridge. It was a program where people were about to leave the military, and they work with you as they're still getting paid by the military, but they work with you as they transition out. And we found that the military employees who are getting out have a little more better work ethic than your average employee, because they're drilled to do more. Okay. And so we've hired a couple people on our staff as ex-military people, because they can do more and they work hard, and they don't complain. And but you want to have people who are like that. You know what I mean? Okay. And obviously you want to build that culture of rewarding them too. When it's time for bonuses and things like that.
Yeah.
You taking care of people too. You know what I mean? So it's a whole process.
Does work ethic for you and hardworking mean mission critical?
They gotta understand the mission. They gotta understand the long game. I mean, obviously in business, there's things that's different priorities where you have in place where, okay, we're working on this contract. This is the priority. We need to get this done. It's gonna be long hours, but.
Well, when I say mission critical, I mean mission critical to your organization, not to the contract. So they understand, as we would say, they understand the assignment. They understand what it means to be an employee.
Yes.
So because as Arthur just said, like, what does work ethic mean to you?
Mhm.
So work ethic can mean one thing to me versus something differently to Deja,
True.
right? But we can both sit here and say we have good work ethic, or what would work for my company may not
Might
work for yours.
Mhm.
So I was just kind of curious, when you're looking at government contract and even thinking ex-military, would it be, do you consider mission critical to your organization as well in your interview questions?
So that comes down to culture. I mean, really, when we hire different people, obviously, people can say anything they want on an interview,
Right.
and until you actually work with them and understand what they're good at, because we've had issues where people said certain things, but they didn't have the qualification that they said, and you kind of got to
Mhm.
let them go when it's okay. We're like, okay, this is not really a good fit, and so you definitely want to, like I said, if you have that culture in place and where people hold each other accountable, and you have that good team effort, team camaraderie, and you still have some outings together where it's a lot that goes into building a business, but I would say definitely you want to have that culture. I would say culture is key to find people who fit good fit for your culture.
That's
Some
good.
some people are like hard workers or good workers,
Yeah.
and they just might not align with your business. Like
Yeah.
I've experienced like working with people who
Dang,
are,
you said somebody be a hard worker and they won't align with your business.
yeah,
That's true.
It's not
They don't
personal, but
understand
like
it,
you
but they
said,
can
the
work
culture.
hard.
What does
But
that mean?
it's like the
What
culture.
does that mean? Okay.
I'm sorry. no,
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah.
It's just like it's like the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like if your family has certain values and somebody comes out there, they cool, they funny, but it's they don't align with certain values that you have.
On that side, okay.
Yeah, you know, it might not work, you know. But like some people might be interested in business in an employee that's going to find a way to squeeze every single dollar of profit out of every situation, and that might start cutting into your morals and how you want to run your business. You might not be everyone is looking for profit, but you might not be looking to like get over on people and find places to cut corners. And some people, they look at that as being a hard worker. Because I'm gonna save you some money. I'm gonna keep money in the company. I'm gonna keep money in your pocket, in my pocket.
That sounds like ethics. That
Yeah.
sound like ethics, man. Not for real, because it's different ethics that people abide by. Like it's people that want to get stuff done fast as possible, no matter what. And you got people that want to get stuff done right, no matter what, and that no matter how long it takes either. So I like when you said that. I think when it comes to work ethic for me, I would say it comes to if you're able to take criticism. Like oftentimes when we're working with people, if someone say you're doing something, just do it. Like they want to say, just do it a little different. Why would I do it different? Working like this has been working the same way. I've been doing it all the way. I've been doing it this way, the same way all day. Why I need to change? Well, maybe I have 10 years of experience and this works this way. So you gotta be able to take criticism from people that are around you, especially your supervisor and your bosses, anything like that. I think that's big. It's hard to identify that early. I will say that someone can interview you. You can interview someone and they give you a whole face card of what you want them to be, but it takes a while for you to kind of learn. So I feel you when you say you have to fire people because you don't know in the beginning. You find out a year later. So I get it. Deja, you're so quiet, but you got so much going on out here. So I need to know what's the backbone looking like? What's going on? Like how are you choosing the people that's going to work for your company? Let us know what that is.
Yeah. One thing my sister and I live by is this quote. It says, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go with a team. So we look at team structure. We're looking for people who have similar characteristics like us, like hardworking, ambitious, drive, that have that work drive. But also we're looking for people who can bring something different to our table. I'm looking for someone like different areas where I may lack. They may have abundance of information in that area. They may be able to bring a certain skill set that I may not have to the table. So we look at people or look for people who can come in, not only duplicate what we're doing, but also offer a new way of thinking. They bring in new ideas, creativity. We had interns come in from the illustrious Virginia State last year, and they were able to come up with a whole new marketing campaign from different areas we didn't even think about, like TikTok influence. That's the younger generation. They love TikTok. TikTok is constantly growing. So they were able to come up with different campaigns utilizing TikTok and saw areas where we weren't able to see.
How are you able to trust it though? Like say someone can come at you, like you said, with a new marketing scheme. how do you trust them? What makes you trust them? Rather that.
Relationship. So anybody that we brought in, we vetted. Me and my sister, we interviewed them. We see how they were able to, and like how you mentioned, people can fake it for so long, of course, or you could have a good candidate, but they may not be a good candidate for your company. So we vetted these individuals. We actually built a relationship with these individuals, and we were able to trust not only what they were saying, but their actions. I feel like actions speak louder than words. So if you're constantly showing me results on why I should trust you, you're in my trust.
Okay.
Exactly. So let's go to the bottom of the barrel. Let's tap on what you said.
Yeah.
You build a team, right? So for me, starting out, it actually started like with no training. Getting contracts with no contract. They paying me for the job, but I don't have a legal business or anything. I'm competitive in a lot of ways. So of course I want to clean better than you, right? Pay attention to details. And I feel like when I finish, when you walk in, you should look like Murray out or something, right? So I'm in here like being an artist now. And I get around the next person and they like, oh, you know, it look good, we can go. And then you get around the next person, they like, oh, but what about this? What about that? And now I'm like, you trying to do me, right? So now I'm looking at stuff too. So now when I clean, I'm looking at this and that, and this person, this is how this person is weekly. So now I know what I got out of you, right? And then that led into something else. And I got into fashion. It was more so about talking to this person in the morning, and they coming back and at lunch, then at dinner, and they texting me and they sending all of this stuff, and it's like it went on and. I got with this person, they started looking at other things. They got more into it than I did, right? I'm like, oh, my competitive I got, and I started to learn, and I started to build the trust value around me by who I see willing to work just as passionate. You know, they want it just as hard as you do, right? So that's how I started building my team. People that, you know, if I get sick today and I'm not there, right? They're going to stay an extra 2 or 3 hours to make sure because they perfectionists, right? They can't leave like this,
Yeah.
right? Like it's just itching them. They waking up middle of the night thinking about where they went wrong.
Yeah.
So that's how I started building a team. So I think you're right when you say build a team, right? Not, I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, but like it's just having employees.
Yeah.
Before you got a team around you, I think you go further. Like you say, you go far.
I agree. So when for a team, in my eyes, it's not workers. It's people I can call on to bounce ideas off. You know, because they're going through the same thing I'm going through. And I'm talking about entrepreneurs. I'm talking about other business owners that are maybe in the area or not in the area. It's kind of hard to talk to someone who doesn't relate to your problems. And it's not no slide to anybody, but you want to talk to people who are going through the same things you're going through, so you can build up your mindset as well. So if it's fortunate enough that they can join your team, that's cool too. But I definitely strive off of just my relationships. Like I thrive off my relationships. Like I wouldn't be nowhere right now without my relationships. Like it's people that I worked with 3 years ago that I may not be doing a monetary thing with, but we're talking and they're helping me get to this event today. Hey, I'm telling her, hey man, I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z. Well, maybe you should do, more panelists instead of just a couple people. Maybe it shouldn't just be a podcast. Maybe it should be a bigger event. Maybe you should get vendors. I didn't know that. Like you gotta be able to take in what people are trying to tell you, because it can help you, especially if they're doing similar than what you're doing too. So that's good. I do want to take a slight shift at this moment. So in business, we always understand that your history of what you do is your track record. So when you're talking about your track record in finance, your track record is tax returns. If you're performing a loss, if you're performing a profit during that year, and those track records is a business history, and that allows you to get things like loans. It allows you to get things like business credit. But I want to open the floor up to you guys. How has your business history and your track record opened doors up for you guys? All speak at once.
I would say in the beginning, obviously having little debt can help you get more lines of credits that you need. And I would say definitely when you get as much money as you can when you don't need it, because you never know when you're gonna need it, especially as a business owner when things go wrong. So having if you can keep as little debt as possible and try to be, it depends on your business type, because cash flow will help when it comes to getting loans and things like that. But when you, just in case you need it, always try to get the next level of line of credit. That way you already have the line of credit ready, because you never know, you win this big contract and then you asking for line of credit now because you got to pay all these employees. But if you already would have had it, applied for it a while ago, it would have already been in place. So think ahead. If you have the structure and everything in place, if you got 100, try to go for 250 or go for 500, just so you have it ready in case you need it, because you never know when things going to pop off and you're going to need that money to help pay for some equipment or pay for employees. So I would say definitely think ahead and get that cash when you need it, as a business owner.
So to the people that are discouraged on getting that cash because they feel like they don't have the structure to maintain it, what would you say to that?
I mean, it depends where you are in business. You want to start small, start with a small business credit card, to just build that business history done, build that business credit card history, just like you do your personal history. Start small,
You said small business credit card?
Yeah, get a small business credit card, start small, get
Okay.
a small business credit card. If it depends what type of business you're in, get like a Lowe's business credit card for equipment and just pay stuff off like that. Start small to build that business credit history. And then that way your business credit is good. So when you do need that bigger line of credit, you already built that credit history, so you can move forward.
Right.
But start small. You don't have to go big, but just get it. If your business is already structured, you have an EIN, you can get credit cards for your business and not have to feel like you're getting
Get that DUNS number.
yeah, exactly. So,
That's, wow, thank you for
I
that.
would say for people who may not be on a large scale
Okay.
or
Small business.
small
Under a
business,
million.
maybe under a million. We could talk under. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing under 20,000,
Under 20,000, let's set the basis.
It's
Go
people,
ahead.
you know what I'm saying? People do small business. Like for me, at least, since I have a job as well, I don't. My company is not growing to $1 million business yet. Because I still have time that's allocated throughout the day for something. But I would definitely say, from my experience and just talking to other mentors, it's important, or just be careful of taking on money too early.
Okay.
Because you'll need, especially when it's like outside investors or maybe lines of credit or something like that, because you need to make sure you have a strategy to pay all of this stuff back.
Got it.
Because
Right.
other things might come up in the midst of you already owing, a certain amount of things or a certain debt.
Sound like using that money for something you're supposed to.
It's possible. Some people might use it for what they're not supposed to. Some people might just make a bad business decision.
Got it.
Sometimes you might invest into the wrong piece of equipment, or you might run $1,000 or $5,000 promotion, like promotion campaign, and you market into the wrong people and you don't get your return.
Yes.
So it's different ways to do it. And I would say that once you have motion, it is best to stack up on that money.
Yeah.
But when you get in development, I would say just be cautious, because once you get it, it can be exciting. And then it's like everybody got a way to spend the money.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I would suggest for people in that situation who aren't good stewards or who haven't grown to that point, to actually start with trade lines before they start with a business credit card. Right.
Well, what's that? What's a trade line?
A trade line would be like taking a net 30.
Okay.
So I'll use Uline because most people
Uline,
get
yeah.
Uline.
Trade line, is that the same thing as credit lines? Oh no.
It's with us.
It's with a specific vendor.
Yeah.
Got it.
So what would happen is, let's say you have Uline. I mean, I think we've all probably heard of Uline. They have business supplies for just about everything.
Yes.
You can make a purchase on Uline, get a trade line, which just says in 30 days. Within 30 days, you need to pay them back.
Okay.
Right. So it's a PO system,
Got
so
it.
to speak. You should not take 30 days to pay them back. Typically, you should pay them back in 10 to 20 days, but you should establish the good payment history there, right? Because when you talk about business credit and Dun and Brass, like they have a paydex score. So your business credit is actually created off of several different variables as well. So it's important to have trade lines and business credit cards and your payment history with several different vendors to establish yourself as well. So start small, right? I mean, we say business credit, some places or companies also do take business credit to get the credit card. You have to have a personal guarantee. And then your personal credit, right, is not what it needs to be. You're not going to get approved anyway.
Yeah.
So therefore, start here, work your way up to there to see what exactly you need to do.
I like that. Thank you. Thank you for that. Because we got a lot of people who are just me. I know a lot of people who are just starting in business within the first 1 to 5 years, and that's the stage they're at. So I'm glad you shared that with them, so you guys know what to do now. You don't have to just go straight to the credit line. Go get that trade line with that vendor that you know you work with, and get that net 30.
I would actually suggest that you use either a company like NAV
NAV, okay.
or Dun and Bradstreet to actually monitor your business credit. And the reason why I say that is because, I mean, some of the subscriptions that are beneficial from a business credit building perspective will allow you to report, because we all keep saying Dun and Bradstreet, which is the largest business credit reporting agency, but no one is required to report to them on your behalf.
Yeah, you can report to
You
them.
can report to them. So then therefore you should look at, like, who do you do business with every day, right? Every month. Who do you have good payment history? So like your cell phone. If you have your cell phone in your business name, then you could submit your cell phone bill with your payment history to Dun and Bradstreet, and that helps build your business credit.
I did not know that.
Or
Yes, that's like the difference between personal and business.
Yes.
You have to.
Wow.
So
okay.
it's more of the work that you would have to do behind the scenes to educate yourself to get you to where you are. But once you start taking those steps and becoming that steward that you need to do, then yes, then I would encourage you to do it. But again, it's strategy, my key word, and structure to get to where you need to be.
Wow. Utilizing your business expenses to help your business credit. Dang, I like that.
Like relationship too. Keeping
Man.
those relationships.
Those relationships matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, I hope y'all writing this stuff down, because these are gems everybody's giving us. I swear, you guys have just opened the door up to just financial literacy, to just what's going on in your business right now, even to just, the humanity side of it all. Like, because we aren't robots. Like, none of us wants to work for the rest of our lives. None of us wants to get up and work 24 hours a day. All of us have a vision of just peace and just that's it. So the fact that you guys are open to, talking about this, even though we all have our own experiences outside of work, I just want to thank you for that. At this point, I do want to ask you guys to please leave us with some kind words to our viewers so we can wrap up for today. We start to the left. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
No,
Moon, go ahead.
Go ahead, Moon.
I mean,
Go ahead, Moon. Let them know something.
I wanna say that there are two types of communities, right? There's the good ones and there's the bad one. And a lot of the people in the bad ones, they want to be in the good ones. And they think that it's the financial level that makes that the good community, right? You can live in rich communities and be a bad community. And I'm saying that to say this. It takes people like her, like you, that love to make other people happy and successful. That's a beautiful community. And if I do that, when I went outside, there were people that were looking at me, just thinking of ways to help make me better. I would feel very safe and feel so much better in this community, right? So one of the things that I do when I go to my community is I realize that not to look down on people and try to do everything that I can to help without trying to tell people what to do. But if you have an expertise somewhere, something that you're good at, I feel you should offer that service. And I just want to say that to make a good community, to make a good home, you have to be a person like her that is, when you wake up every day, you wake up just looking for the opportunity to help someone and make their life better. And I think that that's important.
No, it is, man. It really is. You be hitting it on the dot.
Yeah, brought it all the way back home to that mentality.
Real, like you said, that mentality, man. God dang, Moon. I swear, I'm really gonna take. I'm gonna rewatch this at least 2 times a day. I swear, because there's been some things that I need to really digest. But I'm gonna keep moving along. Miss Therese.
I want to leave the viewers with understanding that your circle of influence matters. Surround yourself with people who will keep you humble, who will keep you motivated, who will remind you of your purpose and push you to move forward.
Yep.
Surround yourself with people who know who you really are to the core, the good, the bad, the ugly. The reason why that is important in a world that is moving fast and chaotic is it always makes you true to who you are, and it reminds you of your why. A good circle of influence truly humbles you. It truly pushes you. And when you get bigger than life, because we always do, it brings you back down to earth. That is more important than any dollar you will ever make. That is more important than any vision you will ever have. It is the key to success. I have encouraged others already. I am reading this book that it keeps reminding me of my why. So I've been, I don't know, on the soapbox about this book. It's called Take a Seat at the Table by Anthony O'Neill.
Take a seat at the table by Anthony O'Neill.
Get it right
Read
now.
that book.
Take a seat at the table.
It tells you about all the people who should be in your circle of influence. You should have someone there who's going to remind you about health, about wealth, about mindset, about your vision, about dreaming, about having fun, about everything you can possibly think of. And you need to also know that there are seats that are flexible, right? You may be here today, but you may not be here tomorrow. Depends on where you are in life. As you change and evolve, your circle of influence should change and evolve as well.
And that's so powerful. Yep.
Right? So it is really important that we know who we surround ourselves with, because remember, your thoughts become your words become your actions. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that, I guess,
that
with
was
our
good.
audience.
No, that's exactly what we needed.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. 1 second. Miss Therese, you have definitely blessed this platform today. Hope you understand that. Hope you understand that the people here today are going to walk out of here, just more motivated to do what they want to do, whether it be in business and life and just with their families and loved ones, because it's just some life skill that you're dropping, and I hope everyone take that away.
Oh, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on down. It's Deja. Go ahead.
Yes, and just to piggyback off that, definitely just what you gave us, like that insight and everything that she was able to share, and just the amount before we even started the panel, us over there just speaking with each other, it was just so much knowledge. So we definitely appreciate that for sure. Yes. But one thing that I would say I would like to leave the viewers with is something that I touch on a lot is not putting any limitations on yourself. You literally can do anything. You can become anything. You can become anybody. You can walk into any door.
Yes.
Don't let your age stop you. Don't let what you look like stop you, your background stop you. You literally can do anything. You put your mind to it. You believe in yourself that you are that person, that you want to show up as that person, that you want to become that person. You can do it. Don't let fear stop you. Don't let doubt stop you. Don't let anxiety stop you. Walk into that room. Own any room you walk into. You want to become the next Tyra Banks, walk like Tyra Banks. You want to become the next Naomi Campbell, walk like Naomi Campbell. You want to become the next Mel Robbins, talk like Mel Robbins. Walk into rooms like Mel Robbins. who's going to stop you but you? So that's all that I wanted to say.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. You're so right, man. You guys are all right. It is what it is. Like you are definitely letting the people know that when it comes to your dreams and what you are motivated in, go for it, man. Don't let nothing hold you back. Like that's so true. It's so many times that we get, caught up in our own emotions. Like, oh, I don't want to do. I'm just gonna try something else. No, stick to the plan.
I'm about to walk like Zuckerberg.
Yeah. That's the start.
No, I'm definitely about to walk like Barack Obama, man. Yeah, okay. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Mr. Darius, let's hear it.
I really don't know how I can top that. Both of you guys, all you guys doing some great speeches, but really, like you said, entrepreneurship is hard. If it was easy, everybody would be entrepreneurs. So really, when you have your plan, like I said, stick to it. It's going to be some hard days. There's going to be some days where you may go cry. You may want to give up. Maybe you want to fight. I mean, but when there's some rough days, always look to the other side. There's some better days ahead. So just go for it. Never give up, and do your best. And that's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
Are you
I
right?
agree. And just to follow up with that is where I was trying to figure out what I was going to say. And I feel like I can just follow up with exactly what he was saying. Is just the 1% rule. That's what I try to keep in mind. 1%, just 1% better every day. If you give 1% better every day in 100 days, you should be 100% better.
There you
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
And honestly, that progress is important because, sometimes you're going to have a fallback. But if you fall back 50% from 100%, and then you go back another 50%, you're 75% there. You're not back at 100. So those fall downs, they hurt. You know what I'm saying? They hurt. But if you keep focusing on that 1%, you should be able to always just keep going, keep moving up, keep elevating, keep getting better, keep learning new information, things like this, listening to things like this, talking to people. It's all helping. It's all adding up.
Are you right? Thank you. Thank you for that, Gio. I guess what I will leave the viewers with is any idea that you feel confident about, communicate it. Like we should get out of our shells and we should talk to people about our ideas, whether that be your mom, your dad, your family, your friends, not your coworkers. I don't know, they be a little funny, but really just get comfortable with talking about your ideas, because the more you talking about it with people is how you're able to make it happen and make it reality. So I definitely encourage everybody that any idea or business venture, whatever it is, talk about it. Make it a thing. Have meetings about it, because one thing will lead to another, and next thing you know, you got this big business, you got this big team, you got all these people you trust, and because you decide to open your mouth. So I want people to definitely, be engageful about what's strong on your mind, and just, go for it, because that's what we all did.
Honestly, this was an idea. This was an idea. Now, you know what I'm saying? We here. Like, you really pulling through different ideas that we've talked through over time. And I've seen you progress and grow your business and expand into new lanes and avenues of revenue and, reach of people and informing people. And you're doing a great job as well. So
Thanks
for having
Thanks for having us. Yes.
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you.
I think as young Black men, I think it's the definition of tough guy, right? I think that when you gotta get up every day and work, but be a man, like you want to provide, you pay the bills, you not going into that system, and that's the tough guy, right? Because it's so easy to go to jail, right? It's easy to stay out here and be broke too, but to stay out here and be a young Black man that's a target, to love hip hop, fashion, right? Not get caught up in the drugs, guns, not wanting to beat up on people thinking that's tough. You're a superhero. So it's a great honor to be able to work around you too, though. You don't know that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, y'all gonna make me emotional. I've been having a long week. For real, y'all don't even get it. Y'all don't get it, man, because he's right. He's right. Waking up every day and striving to be the best person you are, it takes a little something extra, and that's called God. So once you have a little bit of that in your life, it's gonna start making sense. So I just want to take that and wrap things up for today. want to thank everybody for coming out today. I appreciate the live audience, and we out.
Yes.
Situations
Thank you.
removed.
All right.
Good job.